Do you know what the difference between test and evaluation and assessment is? Can you think of examples for these? Would you like to know more about language assessment so you have the basics covered? If your answer is yes, stay with me and let's explore them together. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Learning Together with Robert. If this is your first time visiting me, thank you for being here, and if you're back, thank you very much for your support, because without it, this wouldn't make any sense. If you haven't subscribed, why not do it now and give us a like? Those of you who have already been here, you can fast forward to the main part of the video. I just want to welcome our new visitors. I'm Robert Martinez, and I have been an English teacher since 1994 and a teacher educator and language assessment specialist for almost 20 years now. It's been an incredible journey, having lived and worked in 9 different countries. I'm a self-tutor and assessor, online moderator, a full-time director of studies, and tutor on the IHCYLT course teaching English to young learners and teenagers, and I enjoy being in the classroom both face-to-face and online. If you want to know more about my professional background, experience, and qualifications, I've put a link to my LinkedIn profile and a link to a video cartoon version of my CV to jazz things up in the description box below. Feel free to check them out. Hi again, everyone. Today, we're starting our journey through the world of language assessment. Language assessment is essential in evaluating how well students are learning a language, guiding teaching methods, and improving educational outcomes. Today, we'll look at the differences between testing, evaluation, and assessment, as well as some practical tips for applying them in your classroom. So let's get started on this journey to make language learning assessments more effective. Okay, let's now talk about the differences between testing, evaluation, and assessment. You can pause the video and try and see if you have an idea of their differences before we look at them. Great. Now, it's important to distinguish between testing, evaluation, and assessment, as these terms are often used interchangeably but have different meanings. Testing is the process of measuring students' knowledge, skills, or abilities using specific tasks or questions. Tests are usually standardized and have a formal structure, like quizzes, exams, or standardized tests. For example, we have a spelling test where we ask our students to spell 20 words correctly. This is a test because it measures how many words they can spell right at that moment. Evaluation, on the other hand, refers to the higher level process of making judgments about the educational systems or programs. It involves interpreting assessment data to make decisions about grades, instructional methods, or program effectiveness. Following the same spelling test, for example, after all the students take the spelling test in the program, we look at the results and decide whether these tests are helping learners improve their spelling or not. We are evaluating the performance to make decisions about whether the spelling tests component of the study program is meeting the program learning outcomes. And then we have assessment. Assessment is a broader term that encompasses a variety of methods and tools to gather information about students' learning and progress. This can include tests, but also observations, portfolios, self-assessments, and peer assessments, for example. Assessment is ongoing and aims to provide a comprehensive picture of a student's ability. And an example would be, besides the spelling test, when we also listen to our students read out loud, we look at their writing samples and talk with them about what words they find difficult. This whole process is assessment because it uses various ways to understand how well they're learning to spell and use words. When talking about assessment, it is important to be aware of Do you know all these abbreviations? I'll give you a few seconds to check. First, we have assessment of learning. This means it is summative. It is designed to measure what students have learned at the end of a teaching period. The focus is usually on grades and what many students and programs associate learning with. Yes, I know we've all seen how students and parents are obsessed with grades and results, and there's the assumption that is the same as learning. Then we have assessment for learning. Thank goodness for this. It's a formative approach that uses assessment to guide our teaching and improve our student learning during the learning process through clear, focused, and timely feedback. The idea is that it helps us to close gaps between current understanding and desired outcomes by providing feedback and informing our teaching in an ongoing basis throughout the teaching cycle. And last but not least, we have assessment as learning. These last two are my favorite ones. In assessment as learning, our students actively participate in assessing their own learning. It emphasizes self-monitoring, reflection, personal goal setting, and peer assessment. The idea is to develop our students' autonomy and critical thinking by encouraging them to understand their own learning processes. Along with assessment for learning, this is an ongoing learning process. The key here is that learners take an active part in the assessment process. Understanding these differences helps us use the right tools and approaches in our teaching. Tests give us specific data points, assessments provide a broader view, and evaluations help us make informed decisions to enhance learning outcomes. If we have a clear understanding of the differences, we'll be better equipped to create effective assessments that support and enhance our students' language learning journey. Thanks for watching, and don't miss the next video sharing tips and strategies. I will be sharing more exciting videos, so stay tuned and subscribe. Do let me know in the comments box if you have any special requests, and I'll try to make a video about them if there are enough of you commenting. Do share this video with your friends, and can I ask you a favor? Hit that like button so that more people can see this video. Bye for now, and remember, learning is fun, and you don't have to do it alone. So let's do it together with Robert.